Hello, future tech leaders. You are welcome to Kid Code World. Today we'll be talking about loop and we'll be using Scratch programming language to practicalize this. Now, what is loop? Loop is a block that helps us to repeat a set of instructions for a specific number of time or forever. In Scratch programming language, we have three types of loop. The, the first one is repeat. And this helps us to repeat a set of instructions for a specific number of time. For instance, repeat 5. The next one is repeat until. This helps us to repeat a set of instructions while the condition given is true. And this loop ends immediately the condition turns false. And the last of them is forever. This helps us to repeat a set of instructions forever. So the program continues to run until you end the program. Now, let's see how it works. Come along with me as I share my screen. Okay, now to achieve this, we'll be using drawing of shape to practicalize this. So for this project, we'll be needing three, uh, four different sprites. So we'll be making use of the first sprite we have here, which is the cat sprite. But we are going to reduce the size because I want it to be smaller. Since we'll be drawing four different shapes on the screen. So I want to reduce the size to 50. So this is where you reduce the size and I click enter. Now, then I need three more sprites. So let me bring the three sprites I will be using. Then I will reduce the size of this as well to 50. The, then the next sprite. And now for the last sprites. If you like, you can use the same sprites. You can duplicate the sprites so that the code within will be different. Now, for us to draw in Scratch, we need a block category called pen. But this block category is normally not listed among the block palette. So you bring it out, you come to this place, add extension, and click on pen. Now, you see the pen block category is already added to our screen. Now, why do we need this pen block category? We need it to be able to choose our pen size, pen color, and we need it just to be able to draw, simply put. Now, let's continue. Now, I want this first sprite to stay at different coordinate on the screen. So the first thing I'm going to do is to click on the sprite I want to code on first. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll be drawing a square. I will draw it the normal way without using loop. After that, I will use loop. After that, I will use the for repeat loop, then repeat until and the forever loop. So come along with me as we explore loop in Scratch. Now, the first thing I'm already on the first sprite I want to work on, that's the cat sprite. Then I will come to my event. When flag clicked, what did I want? I want the cat sprite to come to the top left corner of the screen. So I'm going to specify the coordinate for that location that I'm going to see in my motion block. So I will say, I'll go to motion and bring out, go to XY location. Now, I'm going to specify the exact coordinate of where I want it to be. I want it to be by the left side, that's minus X, minus 120X and plus 90 because it's at the top of the screen. That's why it's positive. Next to that, I'm going to tell it to face, point in direction 90. And after that, I'll go to my pen block and instruct the computer to erase whatever I have on my screen before. So I'll bring out erase all. Then I'll pick my pen size. How thick did I want the drawing to be? That will be determined by my pen size. So I want to make that 3. So I'm picking my pen size and making it 3. Then I can pick my pen color. Now you set pen color 2. Now I'll pick my pen color. You can click on this to change the color if you don't want the color you have there. Now, after setting all this, I'm ready to draw. So I'm going to say pen down. Because for you to draw, your pen must be facing down. So I'll say pen down. Now, the next question is, what do you want to draw? Now, I want to draw a square. Now, for us to draw a square, you must first thing you're going to consider is how many sided shape are you drawing? Because you need the number of sides to be able to determine the angle of the shape. So, square is a four-sided shape. That means it also has four angles. Now, for me to be able to know how to calculate the angle of the shape, it's going to be 360 degrees divided by the number of sides of the shape I'm drawing. And since square is four-sided shape, so for me to get the angle of a square, it's going to be 360 divided by 4, and that will give me 90. So that would lead me back to my motion block, and I will give the first side of the shape. I want this first side to be 50 steps. And then my turning, I want to turn at angle 90. So let's test it and see how this works. So, oh, you notice that we are not seeing the drawing because my pen is up. So my pen needs to be down. For you to be able to see what it's drawing, you're going to bring down out pen down. So let me debug that and it starts my pen down. So let's go back and run it again and see how that works. Good. We have our first side. Now, since we are having the first side, and since we're having four sides, that means I'm going to repeat move 50 steps, turn 90 degree, 3 more times. So I don't want to start writing again, so I can just duplicate and paste it. Now, since I have two, I need more two, I'll just right click and duplicate, then I will insert my two. So this is it. Now I have my four side. Now the next one I want to draw will still be a square, but for this square I'll be using repeats. I'll be using a repeat block. Now, why do we use repeat block? Repeat block will save us time and to make our code shorter. Now, instead of writing it, move 50 steps, turn 90 degree over and over again, I can just write one and repeat it and use repeat block to specify the number of time I want it repeated. So let's click on the next sprite. Now, on this next sprite, we are going to do the same thing we've done on the first sprite by saying when our flag is clicked, we set the coordinates that want it to go to the top right side of the screen, and that will be x 120 because the right side x is positive, and because we are still at the top, y will still remain 90. Then we point in direction 90. And after this, we prepare our pen. No, in our pen, I want to instruct it to delete whatever I have on my screen before using erase all. And then I will set my pen size. I want to set my pen size to 3. You can set it to anything. No, it's not necessarily 3. Now I'll set my pen color. I'll click on the color as well to pick the color I want. And then I'm ready to draw. So I will say pen down. Now, we know that we want a square have four sides. So instead of repeating it all the time, I'll just go to my control and I'll bring repeat 10. And I'll change repeat 10 to 4. And what am I repeating? Move 50 steps and turn 90. So 50 steps and turn 90 degree. Good. Let's test it and see if this works as well. Excellent. Now, we see that it works, but it has not ended the shape. So let's use a weight block to be able to control it so that it will work the way we want it to be. Now, let's test it again. Good. Now we have our shape. Now the next loop we want to talk about is the repeat until. Now for this repeat until, we are going to be using another shape so that we'll be able to learn how to get the angle of our shape. But this time around, we'll be using a pentagon. A pentagon is five-sided shape. So And we already know how to achieve this. So instead of repeating all this block over and over, I can copy this block and move it to the next sprite I want to work on. Now I can drop it. Now I have my block in here. So the code is already here instead of starting it all over again. Now the question now is, how many sided shape am I drawing? Okay, before I move to the number of side, now I need to set the coordinates. Where did I want this pentagon to be drawn? I want it to be drawn at the left bottom part, at the left bottom part of the stage, left down side of the shape of the screen, sorry. So the left side of the screen, that means my x will be a negative number. It will still be minus 120. And my y, because I'm moving down below, I'm going below the center of the stage, my y now will be a negative y. That is minus 90. So let's try that. Good. Now, but we don't want it to draw a square. This time around, we want it to draw a pentagon. Now, a pentagon is five-sided. That means we are going to repeat, move 50 steps and turn at that angle 5 times. So now we can no longer turn at angle 90. So but we are repeating it because we have 5 sides, we are repeating it 5 times. Now, at what angle are we going to be turning? Now, for us to get the angle at which we are going to be turning, it's going to be 360 divided by the number of sides, which is 5, and that will give us 72. So we'll turn the angle to angle 72. So let's test it now. Good. We already have our pentagon. Now, since we have our pentagon, the next thing we want to do is I want to have 10 of this pentagon on this same location. So I want to have 10 of this pentagon because I said we are going to be using repeat until. Now, we want to use repeat until to give us 10 pentagon in that same location. So how do you go about this? For us to go about this, we are going to create a variable. And that's the variable that will be checking if the condition is still true or false. So let's make a variable. For us to make a variable, you come down to the variable in the block category. You click on variable, and then you click on make variable. Now, what should we make a variable? We can name it number of times, or we can say times. We can name it anything. You just want a variable that will be checking, do we have 10 pentagon now? So I will call it time on shape. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to look for what to, let me just call it times. So, because I want you to repeat 10 times. So I just want to call it times. You can call it anything. What I call it does not really matter. Good. Now, my times variable is showing here, but I don't want it to be displayed on my screen. So I'm going to uncheck it here. So I've unchecked it. It's not showing again. Now, what do? We are going to go to control. Everybody go to your control. Yes, control, and bring out repeat until and put it. I use it to enclose the first pentagon because what is going to repeat is everything within the first repeat block. Now, repeat until what? We want it to repeat until times equals 10 because we want to draw 10 pentagon. Now, so for how do I achieve this? We need equal sign. So for us to get equal sign, we move to operators. Now in operators, you see equal. So we bring out the equal and slot it into the repeat until. Now we have this. What are we repeating? We are repeating times. That's the variable times. So we go back to variable. And the variable we bring out times and slot it in here. Now I will change this to 10. Now, good. So, for us to be able to see the effects of the variable, the drawing, we are going to say after you have drawn one shape, turn at an angle before you draw the next shape, so that we can see the 10 shape separately. Or else, the 10 shape will be drawn on the same spot, and we don't want that. So, I'm going to put insert an angle at which it will be turning so that I can see the 10 different shapes that is drawn. Now, how do I know the angle at which I'll be turning then? Now, for me to know the angle at which I'll be turning, I'm going to ask myself, how many times did I want this shape to be drawn? No, the answer is 10. That means it will be 360 divided by the number of times I want to draw this shape, and that will give me 35. 360 divided by 10 is 35. So I'm going to go back to my motion and bring out turn. Now, this turn, I will put it outside the first repeat, but it will be inside the repeat until, just like I've pasted it. And I'm going to turn this to 36. Now, and again, I want to add another feature, and the feature is this, that after you have drawn one shape, I want you to change the color before you draw the next shape. So for me to achieve this, I'll go back to my pen and I will bring change color by. Change pen color by. So this changed pen color by. So I will add out with by what? Let me change it by maybe I should change it by 10. You can change it by any number depending on what you want. So let's test it. Oh, see now, sorry, I have to stop this. What I brought out is change pen size. No, I want change pen color. That is why you see that the size is becoming bigger. So I want change pen color. I don't want change pen size. Change pen color. Sorry. So let's stop it and have it. So now we are achieving our game aim, but the I noticed that it's too slow. So I want to reduce the time. So I would say you should wait by 0.1 seconds. You should wait 0.1 seconds, 0.1 seconds, so that it will be faster. I want it faster. So now it's changing. Can we see we are achieving it? So good. This is it. Now, and the next thing I want us to note that it's just drawing and it's not stopping. But we want it stop because we want it drawn only 10 times. Now, that means we have to debug it. There's a bug somewhere. So for us to know what is the bug, the bug is because we did not specify when it will start and when it will stop. So now let's stop this and specify the start point and the end point. So now we are going to instruct the computer that when the flag is clicked, set the times to 0. We are setting that variable times to 0. And after you have drawn each one, change that variable time by 1 because that's what will be counting if it has gotten to 10, the number specified. So let's test it again. You see that after 10, it stops. So repeat until. I said repeat until we continue to execute we continue to execute the instruction while the condition given is still true. Because the condition is still true, it will continue. But when the condition is false, it will stop. Now, it was checking and it wasn't seeing the number of time it's supposed to draw. That was why it continued. Now we have achieved our aim. And the last one is we are going to be using repeat forever. For this repeat forever, the set of code will continue to repeat and it will never stop except you end the project. Now, I don't want to start all over again, so I can still use this block. So let's take this block and bring it into this to make our work faster. Now we have it there now. Now, the first we are going to set here is we are going to set the coordinates because we don't want you to draw it on the previous shape. So we are going to set the coordinates. Now we are drawing it at the right uh, bottom part of the stage, and that is x 120. And the y-axis still remain minus. Okay, so now we don't need this variable any longer, so we can delete it. And we don't need this as well, we can delete it. Good. Now We don't need this repeat until any longer, so we can delete it as well. Now, what do we need? We need a forever block. We want to instruct it, continue to repeat this shape forever. Don't stop. So all we need to do is to bring forever block. So bring forever and put forever block here, and we insert this into it. Now, this will continue to repeat this forever. Now, let's test it. Now, we see that we have the same shape, but this shape is not ending because we have instructed it to repeat it forever. That is why it's not ending. Now, with this, we have come to the end of loop. In recapping, I said we have three different types of loop in Scratch programming language. The first one is repeat, and the next one is repeat until, and the last one is forever. Repeat help us to repeat a set of instruction for a specific number of time. Repeat until help us to repeat uh, a set of instruction while the given condition is still true. And forever help us to repeat a set of instruction forever until we end the project. So with this, we have come to the end of the project. I hope you enjoy the class. Now, if for any question, you can send me a message. Then I'll be glad to address any challenges you encounter during the course of this project. Don't forget to share, like, share, and subscribe. Till we meet again. Bye.